Starting off with our first recipe, definitely when you think about spring, asparagus should be on the mind. And we have some delicious Canadian asparagus growing now. Very, very tasty. And again, cooking within the season is a big part of some of the philosophies of Eastern medicine. So trying to use, we have a beautiful chart there of some of the seasonal ingredients that you may find. Some of them that are local as well. If you can incorporate that into it, it's not always the case, especially in Canada, Toronto. It's hard to access ingredients, but trying to cook within the season as much as possible is not only better for taste, but better for the environment.
It could be better nutrition-wise as well, too. Because if you're getting food that takes less time to get from the farm to your table, then you're going to get more nutrition out of that versus something that's been imported and that's been, spent a lot of time since it was picked in order to get to you. Absolutely.
So asparagus, there's lots of asparagus now. Go out, grab some asparagus, lots to do with it. I'm going to show you, this is actually one of my favorite ways to prepare asparagus. So wash them really well. There's a few tricks, and we've talked about this before, where you can sort of trim the asparagus. Does anyone know of the common trick that's talked about? Where it bends. Where it bends, it breaks,
Bend and
right?
snap.
But it's
Yes,
wasteful.
it is very wasteful. So I have a problem with that because if I bend it, and you're gonna see where it snapped it in half. So I'm wasting probably a good chunk of this that is very edible and very delicious. So what I usually suggest, with the bigger ones, you can cut up to about an inch and a half from the bottom. With the thin ones, cut about an inch off of the bottom, and that's it. The rest is very, very tasty. I mean, it's all tasty. So about that much. That's what I cut off. Otherwise, I'm gonna be wasting way too much with that bending. Plus, I have to bend every single asparagus. It's gonna take me forever to do my prep.
And that took a split second.
Yes.
Slow food.
So yeah, very slow food. Yeah. So this here, don't throw this out.
Stock.
Yeah, you got it. Stock. This is delicious in stock. So what you do, and this might not be enough to make a big batch of stock, but you stick it in the freezer. And so any sort of scraps, if I have onion peelings or carrot peelings, keep a freezer bag for just all your stock scraps. And then when you've accumulated enough, then you can make a nice stock. So I prepared a lot of asparagus yesterday. So lots of asparagus bottoms. And I'm gonna add this to there. And this would make just on its own, a delicious asparagus stock that I can make a soup with. So now I could fortify an asparagus soup with that asparagus stock. Or make a beautiful risotto or something like that. Lots of possibilities. So don't throw those out.
Think of all the extra nutrition that you're getting too. You're gonna get tons of potassium that comes out of your vegetable scraps when you're boiling it. And you're benefiting from not having all of that additional sodium that you would get from a store-bought stock.
So I'm just gonna cut this in half just to make it a little bit more manageable. I'm making a nice salad here. And I have a large saute pan. I have it over the medium-high heat. So I want a hot pan, and it's a dry heat. So no oil. Putting no oil, no water, no butter, no fat.
Nothing.
Nothing. Just a dry heat. Welcome, welcome. Take a seat, come in. So asparagus is gonna go into this hot pan. Nothing on it, and what I wanna do is get some nice char marks, some nice grill.
So if you put oil, for example, that would be more of a stir fry.
More of a stir fry, and
you wouldn't get kind of that browning as much.
Exactly. I want a nice char on it. Like if I did this on the barbecue, I would do the same thing. I would not dress anything. I would just put it very dry onto a hot barbecue just to get some color. Any oil, most oil, there are oils with higher smoking points, but if I wanted to use like an olive oil or something a little more flavorful, at that high heat, I'm gonna start burning it. It's gonna start smoking, and then we're getting into a bad situation. We don't want smoking oil.
No, absolutely not.
So I'm gonna toss this around. I don't know if you can see from our sky cam. I'll pick one up. It's very hot, but I'll pick one up. And I have some char on there, some grill marks. But again, this is a dry pan. So I just wanna cook it just a couple minutes, just until it softens a little bit, but it's still nice and tender. I don't want very, very soggy asparagus.
Asparagus is one of the ones, if you overcook it, you lose a lot of the nutrition. It's very, very delicate. So you want to do, just at a lower heat and less time if you are going to cook it. So this salad is a perfect way to do it.
So we're going to cook this a little bit more. While that is going for another minute, I'm going to make just a quick dressing that I'm going to add while the ingredients are hot. So with our lemon, there's two amazing ingredients you can use from the lemon. One is the juice. The second one, does anyone know what the second one is? We use it a lot in the kitchen. The zest, yes, the zest. It's sort of ingredient that a lot of people, yeah, not the seeds. Seeds are very, very bitter. Yeah, no, the zest is a free ingredient that we, sometimes throw away. Definitely a great one to have. Wash the lemon really well. Take either a grater with a very fine blade on it, or these are great tools to have in the kitchen. This is a rasp, and it is fantastic for taking zest off. So I'm just gonna run the lemon on here, and you can see the steam rising off of it. This is the point where I wanna start adding the dressing. This is when that hot asparagus is dying for some moisture. So any sort of liquid dressing that I'm gonna put on is just gonna get absorbed into the asparagus.
Yum.
So I'm gonna use a nice olive oil on top, and I don't need too much, maybe about a tablespoon or so. I'm gonna add a little bit of that lemon zest. Again, get that really nice flavor in there. Some of the juice as well, about a couple tablespoons.
And this is an awesome tip I love to do that Jeremy taught me. Use your hand as a strainer. So rather than squeezing and then picking out the seeds later, just let the juice run through your hand. Or you can use a strainer, will work as well.
And while I'm dressing it, I just threw the walnuts into the pan. I turned the heat off. Just use that sort of residual heat from that hot pan to toast the walnuts a bit. And we're gonna add a little drizzle of honey over that. So this is gonna give us like this sticky walnut.
And help balance the bitterness of the walnuts for us as well.
So that's gonna add to the dressing as well. I'm just gonna stir that around. We have our lemon juice, we have our olive oil, our lemon zest, maybe just a pinch of salt and a little bit of black pepper in there. And
another thing we're doing is we're incorporating all these different flavors, which really helps to boost appetite for anyone who may be going through cancer treatment, suffering from a lower appetite.
So the sticky walnuts are gonna go in. We're gonna add some fresh mint. Mint spring, that is one of the best pairings, I think. But any sort of herbs will work here. And I'm just leaving it whole, so just big leaves right in there. We'll add them all. There we go.
Minty fresh.
Then that Parmesan cheese. So we're gonna grate some of that Parmesan cheese right on top. And this is a very simple, probably one of the best ways I like to enjoy asparagus. So give it a little toss. Make sure that that honey and that olive oil and that lemon juice and that mint, when that mint warms up a little bit from that asparagus, all those essential mint oils are gonna start to come out as well.
And it looks like spring on a plate.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
That green color is just gorgeous.
And that's it. Plate it. We talked about plating before. We want to use as much negative space as possible. Appearance is sometimes just as important as the taste.
It is, absolutely. Having a good look of your food is really important for appetite as well.
All right. I don't know why this is taking so long. Just gonna pour it on. There we go. There's our asparagus salad.